Hi, my name is Mikey. This is my first ever YouTube video. Very exciting. But this is a really quick speed paint of Shuu Iwamine from the game Hatoful Boyfriend. Just to go over the game real quick, it's a dating sim where you are a 15-year-old girl attending high school. But the high school is full of birds. All of your romantic options are birds. Shuu Iwamine himself is one of the romantic options. He's the school nurse, and I think he's a patronage. But yeah, so, and if you look into the game, make sure that you are aware of all the trigger warnings that this game has. Just to name a few, there's like gore. I just stated the fact that you're 15, he's the school nurse, things like that. Gore, torture, human experimentation, I guess just experimentation in general. So yeah, like definitely look into a exhaustive list of trigger warnings if you are interested in this game, because there's a lot going on. It's not just dating birds. There's a lot going on. But yeah, there's some mad lore, and definitely look up those trigger warnings beforehand. To go into the process a little bit, I'm really proud of this piece overall. I tried a lot of things that I don't normally do with my art. I'm really used to doing traditional art, so a lot of the things that I try when I do digital art are just kind of translated from that. But this time I went onto a limb and tried to do things that I've seen other digital artists do. I've only been doing digital art for a few months now. I got an iPad back in I want to say February, March-ish. And it's May now. So it's only been a few months. So a lot of the times whenever I go into a piece digitally, I try to replicate whatever I've done traditionally, which isn't always the best. So I'm really proud of the things that I did with this piece. One of the things that I like is the coloring. I'm really happy with the coloring. Usually my instinct is just to go in with cell shading, but this time around, well, I wouldn't say I rendered, but I definitely tried some techniques that I've seen other artists who are really good at rendering do. Those techniques being adding different colors into the shadows. I think you probably saw me earlier smudge in teal or a turquoisey color into the highlights of the hair, into the shading of his skin, and then smudge in purple into the shadows of his hair. So things like that. I also really like the fact that I did a proper clean sketch before adding color. I think that definitely tightened the piece up and made it look a lot less messy than it would have otherwise. Because I'm so used to doing things traditionally, a lot of the time when I would do a traditional painting, what I would do is I would have the sketch and then I would just get rid of some of it with a gummy eraser or something and then just color right over it. And when I first started digital art, I kind of tried to do the same thing where I would have the sketch and then just erase parts that were unneeded. Instead of creating another layer and then actually doing a clean sketch, I would just go with the same messy sketch. And because that would always be the top layer and the coloring would happen in layers beneath that, it just made the entire thing look messy. But so this time I tried a clean sketch beforehand, and I'm definitely a lot happier with how it turned out. Another thing that I'm really happy with is the shading and the lighting. A friend of mine helped me with that a lot, actually. So after I went over the piece with a multiply layer and added some broad shadows, they suggested that I add some darker shadows, intensify the rim lighting a little bit more just to make the lighting a little bit more dramatic. Yeah, you can see me do that there with the flashing red. But yeah, that definitely took the piece to a whole different level. Made the entire thing a lot more intense. At the end of the piece, I add a noise layer because I really like adding that. I feel it makes anything look good. And it smudges out the little mistakes and stuff. I also added a chromatic aberration since the idea is that he's kind of cutting into you. And from blood loss and stuff, your vision's gonna get a little weird. So yeah, so I added a chromatic aberration, and I feel like that did what it needed to do. But yeah, so this is the finished piece. Thank you so much if you made it to the end of this video. I hope to make more videos soon. This seems like a lot of fun. So. And if you want to find me on other social media, you can find me at mikey.moyna, that's Mooyna, on Insta or on TikTok. All right, see you guys soon.